Hello, I'm Devashish. Welcome to my channel D-BIOLIFE. I hope you are all doing well and staying healthy. So let's start for today's topic. So today we will see the kidney function regulation by ADH. Okay. So today I am trying to discuss about kidney function regulation by ADH. Okay. So now first question comes in our mind, that is what is ADH? Okay. So what is ADH? So or the full form of ADH. ADH means anti-diuretic hormone. Okay. So ADH stands for anti-diuretic hormone. Okay. So now second question that comes in our mind, that what is the source of that particular type of hormone? So the source, that is this kind of hormone secretes from hypothalamus. Okay. Hypothalamus. So now question arises, what is the location of the hypothalamus? So the location of the hypothalamus, that is forebrain part, FOREBRAIN, forebrain. Okay. So where hypothalamus is present, and from the hypothalamus this ADH will be secretes and release from RELEASE, release from where? Release from pituitary. Okay. So these anti-diuretic hormone, which is also known as ADH, these hormones secretes from hypothalamus, and the location of hypothalamus, that is from forebrain, and these ADH release from the pituitary, and to be more precise we can say that the posterior pituitary, posterior part of pituitary. Okay. So from these regions this kind of hormone will be released. Okay. Now question arises, or we have to understand how this kind of hormone regulate the kidney function. So let's start. So look, that is in our body system there are so many osmoreceptors present. Osmoreceptors present body system. Okay. So when from the body system fluid will be releases much more amount. So if from body system water or fluid release from the body system, fluid releases. So that type of condition we have called dehydration, dehydrate condition. Okay. So process is known as dehydration and condition is known as the dehydrate. Okay. So or we can say that the thirst. So this type of condition will be developed if from the body system fluid will be released. Okay. So during this kind of condition, during this time when dehydration or thirst becomes developed, or we can say that from the body system fluid will be releases, then osmoreceptors becomes active. So at that condition osmoreceptors become switch on. Okay. Switch on, and as a result some signals will be sent to the hypothalamus. Okay. At this point. Okay. So now from the hypothalamus secretes ADH hormone, understand, and release from posterior pituitary. Okay. So what will be released? ADH. So let's again understand the total scenario. So when from the body system water or fluid becomes releases, then that time we can say that the dehydrate condition or thirst condition. During this time within the body system osmoreceptors become active or switched on, and for this reason some kind of signal will be generated, and from the hypothalamus secrete ADH. Okay, this is hypothalamus, and ultimately this ADH released from the posterior pituitary. Okay, so at this time, this ADH, by the action of this antidiuretic hormone, water reabsorption takes place. Water reabsorption takes place. Okay, water reabsorption takes place, and also prevent. We can say that the prevent diuresis. Okay, so water reabsorption takes place where this kind of water reabsorption takes place. So mainly the tubule part, we can say that the tubules, or we can say that in detail, or to be more precise, we can say that the DCT part, distal convoluted tubule, and also collecting duct. Okay, collecting duct. So by the action of the ADH hormone, which is released from the posterior pituitary, so by the action of this kind of hormone, water reabsorption takes place within the DCT part, distal convoluted tubule part, and the collecting duct. Okay, and also prevent diuresis. So these 2 points are very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, so water reabsorption and prevent diuresis. So now question arises, what do you mean by the diuresis? Diuresis means increased production, increased production and excretion of urine by kidney. Okay, so this is very, very important. This is very, very important. So prevent diuresis. So by the action of the ADH, not only water reabsorption takes place within the DCT part and also the as well as the collecting duct, but also it will prevent diuresis. Okay, so diuresis means increased production and excretion of the urine by kidney. So if diuresis prevent, so what will be the scenario? If diuresis prevent, then within the body system, fluid volume become also increases. Fluid volume also increases. Okay, so if fluid volume increases, then osmoreceptors becomes switched off. Switch off. Okay, osmoreceptors becomes switched off. Okay, so if osmoreceptors switch off within the body system, then what will happen? Then the ADH also suppress. ADH suppress. Okay, antidiuretic hormone will be suppressed. Okay, so this is the main scenario. By the action of the ADH hormone, antidiuretic hormone, they regulate the function of the kidney. Okay, and another point, another function of the antidiuretic hormone, that is also show the kidney function regulation. So how? So ADH also show the constrictory, TRICTORY, constrictory effect on blood vessel. Okay, within the body system. ADH also show the constrictory effects on blood vessel. Okay, so this is very, very important point. Constrictory effects, okay, on blood vessel. So what will be the result by this kind of effect? So the blood pressure becomes increases. So that's why I am indicating this kind of arrow. Okay, so blood pressure also increase. So as a result, if within our body system blood pressure will increase, then increase also glomerular blood pressure or flow. Pressure or flow. So if glomerular blood pressure or blood flow will be increase, then increase glomerular filtration rate also increase. Understand? So in this way, ADH regulate the entire kidney function. Okay, so if this video is useful for you, then like, comment, share, subscribe. See you on the next video. Goodbye.